Please welcome my panel guest today, Jewel Staite and Summer Glau. Now welcome. They're very low. They're sort of spacey.
But they swivel. I like it.
Yeah, they feel like Star Trek 60s chairs.
Very much so.
If you guys have been in a spaceship, you would know more than I would.
That's true. Spent a lot of time in a couple spaceships.
Yeah.
Actually, yes. Some fancy, some not.
Was there anything you were like, I would love to have my house decor be like this? Like, it's just so comfortable.
No.
Very claustrophobic, I imagine?
I don't know. It's a little claustrophobic. The Firefly ship.
Yeah, it was.
That downstairs part.
It was, especially if you weren't allowed to leave.
All places are claustrophobic when you're trapped.
They just kept taking your shoes.
Yeah, they just kept locking the doors.
It's like prison rules.
Yeah. I guess the beds were pretty comfortable because the crew would always go sleep in the
They
beds.
would nap. Yes.
Yeah.
In the
During
like
lunch.
the quarters, beds
Yeah, the
outside.
crew would, because we would have a lunch break every day. And yeah, sometimes
They
the
spent
crew would
more
go
time there.
into the beds and nap.
It was
That would shock me. Like, you
Yeah.
Whoa.
It was
There you
shocking.
see like a key grip sleeping in the hammock. Yeah, it would happen though. They're very nice people.
Are you the kind of people who take mementos from things you've worked on? Like, do you have stuff from various things you've worked on?
I don't have stuff, but I will change that in the future because I feel jealous of the other actors that stole, let's use the word, the proper word is stole from the set. And I don't know, I guess I was just raised to not steal.
I followed the rules.
Yes,
They told us
yes.
we weren't allowed.
But we're not going to do that anymore. We're just going to steal stuff.
It's like your version of stealing office supplies at someone else's job.
Yeah, it just felt like it was weird. But I mean, really, what are they going to do with the stuff once a show ends? Do you know what I mean? So, just take what we want. Yeah.
There's just a big warehouse full of everybody's stuff.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Is that true?
Mhm. Because I remember I was going to a wedding once and the wardrobe department was like, do you need a dress? And they just took me in there and I was like, oh my gosh, everybody's stuff goes to die. Yeah, yeah, I thought the cutest little dress. It was, I can't remember what show it was from, but it was a vintage,
Like from a show?
chiffon, yeah.
Do you know what show?
I don't remember, but I had quite the shopping spree in there.
A friend of mine works at Paramount, and I didn't know this, but in your office, you can go into the warehouse and put little Post-its on what you want in your office from like the warehouse. So when you're walking around, people's offices are like, a lion's den, or like, this looks like a throne room, because they're just like, oh yeah, we're not using it.
Right.
Just use it in your office, it's fine.
That's so funny. Cool. Huh.
That's why I can't steal stuff, because otherwise people won't be able to.
I guess so. You can steal some stuff though.
Small stuff.
Like just the small stuff.
Yeah.
Just one or two things.
Yeah. Little.
Not like Nathan who steals 100 things. Just like one or two.
Does he take big things? Does he back it up in the truck?
He's very shameless about it. He fills a box full of stuff and takes it to his home.
Did he tell you, like, you guys gotta get in on this? Like, get him to stealing stuff?
I don't think so. I just, like, you know, when you go to his house, he has a displayed case of stolen items on the door. And I was like, wow, where'd you get all this stuff? And he's like, took it. So, yeah.
I've heard of this.
Yes.
Are you fans of sci-fi stuff? Because you've been in so many things that have fallen into that genre. Does it just sort of happen that way, or do you enjoy?
I don't know. I mean, I'm a fan of good stuff.
Yeah.
Regardless of genre, right? And like one of my favorite movies is Contact. Jodie Foster. That would be so good.
Yeah.
It's a
Good. It's so good. So yeah, I don't know, but I wouldn't say that specifically I have a favorite genre. I don't know. You?
I do have a favorite genre. I like period films from the 1800s. I wanted to be British, but like an 1800s. I wanted to do Emma or Jane Austen.
It would have been the best if it said like horror.
Yeah, I don't watch that. I've never seen a horror movie.
Yes.
I get so easily scared. You know which movie I saw that I Am Legend, and that's not even a horror movie, but there were zombies in it, and I couldn't sleep in my own room. What was the question?
You're in so many sci-fi genre shows and things. Is it something you had to finish?
Oh, no, I read a lot of, my mom read a lot of science fiction to us as children, and I think that did stick with me and kind of helped shape my imagination and kind of open a lot of doors creatively for me, so it kind of made sense. But I think when you get into science fiction, it's just a really, in particular, I think a great place for girls, because there's not just the girlfriend or the hot girlfriend, the extra hot girlfriend, and she's like, that's what she does. There's, like you playing, getting to play the mechanic,
It's a more broadened horizon, I
Yeah.
guess, is the thing.
It's a utopian future.
Yeah.
A little bit more on.
That's fun. It's fun as an actor, right?
It is.
You can do wild and crazy stuff. Play a crazy person and
Is that the best thing to do as an actor? Like, what's the ultimate dream actor? Because I've heard people say, like, getting to die or play drunk, or like something like that, that you could just chew the scenery.
I don't know. Playing drunk is really hard. I don't think anybody wants to do
It's
that.
so hard. I'm scared. Yeah, my husband says that pretending to sleep or pretending to be drunk are both really hard when you're an actor.
Yeah, because when you're drunk, you're usually trying to pretend like you're not drunk,
Right.
Yeah.
right? So like to act that is hard. You know who does it really well is Alan.
He does everything well.
He does. It's really annoying, but Alan plays drunk very well. Like the Jamestown. Remember when he comes back to the ship and he's hammered? It's one of my favorite scenes of the whole show because it's so good and Zoe's so mad. That's great, but that's hard to do. I don't know. What's your dream? What do you like? What's the one thing where you're like, oh my god, yeah,
I got the script that
I
I
get to do that.
I kind of felt that way. I loved playing a Terminator. That was really fun. I was like, oh, I get to throw somebody else. I get to smash them in a car. Yeah, that felt pretty good.
You're both doing TV shows based on iconic sci-fi movies, in Terminator and Stargate. Were you familiar with Catch and Watch Terminator? That wasn't scary, or were you?
I didn't see it before I got cast.
Really? Did you watch it when you did get cast?
Yes, my dad was so embarrassed that I hadn't seen it. So I did the whole marathon after I got cast. And I really fell in love with it, but I didn't feel like I had to see it to feel like I knew what it was, because it's just kind of part of it's just part of pop culture. So, but no, I hadn't seen it.
Did you feel like you had to research things and become part of a long-standing?
I mean, I probably should. Like there's been a couple of, on Stargate, I did not research anything, and we were shooting an episode in, I want to say season 4, called Tabula Rasa. And we had a lot of background actors on the set that day, and we all wear uniforms in the show, right? And you have a little flag here that says what country you're from, essentially. And there was a background performer who had a flag that we did not recognize. And I said, what country is that? And I said, well, maybe it's a new country in the future. And they all looked at me, the other actors on the show, and they're like, what are you talking about in the future? And I was like, I'm saying that maybe there are new countries in the future. They said, do you think this show takes place in the future? And I said, does it not? And they were like, no, it's present day. And I was like, well then why are we on this spaceship, this city that flies? And like, because it's a science fiction show. So I learned to do some research before starting a job.
I've been playing in the future this whole time.
Yeah, I was like, it blew my mind.
Everything.
It blew my mind. Why wouldn't I think it was the future?
I would think
Really, that makes sense.
Thank you.
It's no Star Wars.
Yeah.
I've never seen one.
And all these fancy medical tools and stuff that, I'm the doctor, so they're giving me all this stuff that doesn't exist in reality.
It's the future.
So I'm thinking, oh, they've invented some new anyways.
You're right, they're all.
Yeah, basically. That's how I live my life.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best way to live.
My family loves it.
Just bend for reality
Yeah.
to shoot through.
There was a dog fighting. There's a dog fighting happening on a planet, and the dogs ended up chasing you back to the ship. And then Summer's character ends up taming the dogs. That was one of the episode that he wanted to pitch. So I wanted to see what one of your favorite ones was. That
Chocolate peppers on the air.
That would have been the one.
If he had thrown that one in, in the nick of time.
For sure. Oh my God, I don't know, but I remember Alan was constantly pitching weird ideas. Remember to Joss? Like he was like, what about this? And Joss was like, no. But yeah, I don't know. Like after a while, I think we just stopped listening.
got it.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't recall.
He's just talking, and there's
He's just talking.
white
And I
noise.
was like, yeah, totally, for sure.
Got
Great
it.
idea.
Thank you.
Yes.
This question is for Jewel. Jewel, you were at the Denver Pop Culture a few years ago, and you had your significant other with you. You guys were talking about him having a man cave and having a shrine to you. How did that ever turn out?
Well, he has, his home office is completely covered in and decorated with Kaylee art. So when I get artwork given to me at conventions by these lovely people, Charlie loves it. And he's like, oh, love that. And it goes off the wall. Yeah. It's a little weird though. Like, if you really break it down and think about it. Like,
It's weird.
It's a bit weird.
Ralph keeps everything in a box. It's like this.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
it's
like
still
on the wall.
a little weird what having all this stuff with my picture on it.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's weird to hang around the house, right?
We'll keep it in one room.
Yeah, so he just has it in his office, and then we just opened up a warehouse in Plain for T-runners, and he got a really large print of Kaylee, not me, of Kaylee, like in costume and everything, for the warehouse. Yeah, like he loves Kaylee probably more.
Does he ever call you
That's
Kaylee?
right. No, but like he saw the show after we got together. He's like, I should really watch this show people are talking about. And he's like, you are so sweet in this show. Just like how he wishes I was all the time.
At least you're in on the art, like you didn't
Oh,
just
yeah.
stumble into his office one day and be like, what is this?
Yeah, that would have been really weird.
So sweet.
You're right. Yeah, it's nice.
Yes.
Okay. Again, David Mel with Whedonopolis.com. We saw your new YouTube sci-fi show called Cece.
Oh, thanks.
Yes, we reviewed it, and I'm still waiting for that to be approved. But I'd like to know, how did you approach that role of being a robo-nanny?
Yeah, I was an evil robo-nanny. Although she doesn't think she's evil. She's just doing what she thinks is best for the child. It was tough though. The writers and directors of that project are twin sisters, and they're insanely talented. So right away, as soon as I read it, I said, I'm in. But it's a strange line to walk, right? When you're playing a robot. How to sort of, and especially like a nanny, like she's this really loving, sweet presence with kids. So yeah, it was just like, it was a tough line. And I'm one of those actors that like every time I watch something I've done, I want to redo it. I'm like, I've done this differently. So yeah, I just, I would have changed a couple of things maybe about the performance in hindsight. But the directors were happy, and that's what matters. And I think it turned out beautifully.
Yes,
I'm really, really proud of it.
You're award-winning for that.
I am. Thank you,
Yes.
Summer.
Don't change
I didn't tell her to say that at all.
Is there anything that you've done that you think is not perfect, but sort of the best thing you've done, or like the best example or episode that you're the most proud of?
It's hard, I don't know.
I think there's one commercial for Bell South.
Oh, that's great. Won an award for that.
That's the one.
Yeah.
That was golden.
Yeah, I love this.
I really enjoyed River's fight scene in Serenity. I just wondered if you had any good memories from training for or filming that.
Do you have any good memories?
They're all just
Good ones.
Well, looking back, I really am grateful that I got to push myself to do it. Because so often, you know, they try to get the actors to do it, but they just don't have the time to get them in the gym enough to do it, you know, to actually do it. It's just so much easier and safer to have the stunt team do it. So I am really grateful now. It taught me a lot about humility and patience. Because it took months for me to really start to get the hang of it, and I'm really grateful that Joss felt like I could do it. And I guess, you know, my favorite memory now was my very, very first class, which was out in Alhambra, which is really like an hour east of LA. And I got there, and it was in the middle of a park, just under a pavilion with a concrete floor, and it was me and 40 12-year-old Asian assassin boys who were none too pleased to see me. And I just stumbled my way through it week after week, and there were days that I you know, like looked at the exit sign and thought, no, can I outrun Chad? No. So I just went to the bathroom, cried a little bit. But I look back at it, it's one of the most special things that could happen to me, especially, you know, going from being a dancer to being on set and taking on this role that, you know, in Firefly, River was such a supporting character, and then I had a lot more to do in the movie, and I think I would have really overthought it if I hadn't had that physical place to go every day to just, you know, get out of my head. So it's pretty special. Thanks.
Did you ever have to do a fight scene that cost?
No. No. They take one look at me and go, forget it.
Can you say a line from Serenity, the iconic line when you got off the, I want to say the swallowed a bug line?
I was going to say, my turn. I swallowed a bug.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You get asked to do lines from things often, like are there ones that come up
All the time, yes.
What's the number one?
You know what it is.
Just trying to
The batteries line, we'll call it. I was out with a bunch of guys, some friends of mine at a Comic Con, they're comic book authors and artists, and one of them had a few cocktails and asked me to say the line. And they were all like, "Buddy, oh my God, it's so embarrassing, what are you doing?" But I did it.
Yeah. You played drum for a while, so
both of you are known for your multiple iconic roles in the sci-fi genre, but you've also done a lot of guest spots. So my question is, what was your favorite guest spot and what made it special to you?
Probably The Order. The show called The Order on Netflix last year. And I got to play twins. And they were very bad babies. One of them's even worse than the other one. But I had so much fun doing that one. I love playing evil anyway. But yeah, it was great fun for me. And I was like, oh, I think if I just played bad guys for the rest of my career, I would just be genuinely fulfilled. I feel so fulfilled. Yeah, that was very empowering. Let me do that again.
It was awesome. Yeah, I love playing the bad guy too. So that was fun on Arrow. I got to play a villain, and I play a villain on Blue Assassins. That was really fun. Getting to be a Waterloo. And I really had a really good time on Grey's Anatomy. And I, of course, Big Bang. I went to class on Big Bang. I really did have a good time. Thank you.
Mike, I guess my question is kind of for both of you. Both of you seem to kind of have this confidence about you
think brings joy to other people. Do you find it difficult when you're in a role, specifically Summer, like Terminator, where you just kind of turn off all that emotion? And to pay a compliment to you, I think you are a much more terrifying Terminator than Arnold Schwarzenegger ever was. Great job with that.
Thank you. What was the question?
Is it hard to turn off the emotion? Like when you have to play someone?
I felt so bad for my scene partner. Did you feel that way too when you were?
I think so. I mean, I'm pretty like, I mean, as you know, I'm an emotional person. So it's so hard for me to take that down a notch. Yeah.
Yeah, but for me it also worked in reverse. So, because I played a Terminator for 2 years, so embarrassing. I had this audition and it was for something that I really would have loved to do because, as I said earlier, I wanted to do period films. And it was when those epic Grecian dramas were coming in, and I can't remember which one it was for anymore, but it was for one of those Thor type things. And I went in. I was so nervous and so prepared, and my manager called me after, and she said, they love you. They want to know if it was a choice not to blink. I've been practicing not blinking for 2 years, and I was so embarrassed I didn't get the part.
They were like, is she gonna play?
There were some directors who famously wouldn't let any of their actors blink.
Who are they? I just know
Meyer, thinking anything. Like there's all these scenes of like, yeah, the actors were just like, you have to do so many takes because he's like, you blinked.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Yeah, that took your dialogue. So,
That was
yeah.
a misconnection for me.
How would you even practice that?
You just do, and I would practice shooting the gun without flinching, without blinking. So here I am, really scared in an audition, and I just went into, Terminator mode.
Yes.
This is a question from both Jewel and Summer. How did it feel to be both role models?
Aw. How does it feel to be a role model?
I thought she said more calm.
You can answer that if you want.
No, honey,
You
no.
can answer that
No. Okay. Well, when we see you, it feels, it feels like our hearts have wings because you are so.
You're so cute, man. You really are just the cutest little thing.
You're such a beauty, and you really, you make our day.
It's true. People we get asked a lot by people that say, is it weird when you see people dressed up like you? And I'll tell you, it's one of the best things. I will never get tired of it. I love it so much. And every time I see a Kaylee, I gotta get a picture with the Kaylee and put it on my Instagram. Because I can't get enough of it. So we love you for loving the show so much, and we hope we can live up to what you would like us to be as much as we can, even if it's just a little bit. I mean, I would say Kaylee for sure. Just because we just didn't really know that this would happen. I mean, we were on what we were told was a failing show that no one was watching. Really, I mean, that's what we were told. So that's what we believed, and it wasn't until we started going to conventions and being invited to conventions that we realized that there was this movement happening of people that loved it so much and appreciated it so much. And because of those people, because of you guys, we've gotten to travel the world together a lot, right? We've been to some crazy places, Summer. Crazy. For us and for me, like the show didn't really go anywhere, I mean, I get when people are sad and they come up to us and say, I'm so sad that it's over. It was almost 20 years ago, which is crazy. But for us, we gained these friendships that are very strong and precious. And managed to stick it out and still stay in touch all these years later. And sometimes I have to mute that group chat, but you know, it's an amazing thing, don't you think? So yeah, the impact of that has just been so long and unexpected and beautiful.
Yeah, it's more than a role. It changed our lives. I got my passport to do a convention in England. I'd never been overseas. I didn't have the vision for that. And then we've been to Australia many times and Germany and crazy. And we've seen each other's lives in a way that I don't think we would have, because Firefly is an underdog story about an underdog story, really. And we've all bonded together over it. It's just continues to change our lives.
Your kids watch things they
Well, I didn't think so, but then the other day, I don't know if any of you have seen Wu Assassins, but I play a character who can drown people from the inside. And so there was a scene in it, and my daughter reenacted it perfectly. She drew little hearts in her palms, so instead of water, she was the heart Wu, but
their hearts explode.
yeah, well, and she is pretty sneaky about finding stuff on the Netflix. You know, if I leave for a few minutes, she's pretty crafty. She's 4. I didn't mean for her to see that stuff. But do you have I think I'm going to let her watch my Christmas movie. Let's watch your Christmas movie.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I know, I was just trying to think about what we get to see.
Else. Yeah.
Probably nothing yet. Mine's almost 4, so it's just not there yet. Right?
Everyone I know who's has kids that are actors, a lot of times their kids are just like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like they're really disinterested because it's like the parents' work.
Yeah.
And it's almost like,
Although one time he said, I was like, so I have to go tomorrow. You remember I want to go? He said, yeah. And I said, you remember what mommy does for a living, right? And he goes, audition?
It's not wrong.
He's not!
Yes.
Well, my aunt is just really thankful for your social media feed because it's smile on her face.
Aw, thank you. It's so nice, that's it?
You
Just a
look
compliment? Best question of the day. Thank you.
Yes.
If either of you could play a historical character, what would be a role you'd love to go after?
Joan Crawford.
You're a Jim Crow.
Like when she went cray-cray.
You're joking.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with this podcast. It's called You Must Remember This. Okay, I'm obsessed.
It's very good.
And it's all these long forgotten tales of Hollywood. You love it, of old Hollywood. And they're all true stories, but they've got this sort of like ghost story vibe. And she did a 5-part series, the host did a 5-part series about Joan Crawford. And I listened to all of it, and it's like, that's who I would want to play.
That sounds amazing.
It's the best podcast. It's so good.
Yeah, that's great.
Send it to me.
Do you have a historical figure that you know? Including 1800s.
Chuck Norris.
Now, I want to see Jane Austen's Chuck Norris start.
Without blinking.
Yes, no way. It's like Walker, Texas Ranger, but Texas is informed you. Yes.
Did you like acting in Stargate Atlantis?
Yes. I grew to love Stargate. I was really scared coming in because I was replacing a very well-loved character on the show, who also happened to be one of my best friends. Awkward. But pretty much right away, the cast was very warm to me and made me feel at home and teased me relentlessly and all that. And I always say that was one show that if it had gone on for like 15 seasons, I would have just kept saying yes, because it was so dreamy. When you have a great job like that, it's really hard because you just compare every job after that to that one. I'm like, oh, it's a good one, but it's no Stargate. So yeah, I think all of us are just holding out for something like that again. It's so much fun. I love those guys. They're great.
So it's better to have well, obviously from a work perspective, it's better to be in a series, but as an actor, do you find it's easier to be in a series and be the same character for a long time, or do you like the being able to change a lot?
I like it.
I like it too. I like it too. I think because, you know, every week there's a new story about your character that you didn't see coming. So it's fun. It's like you're just constantly discovering all of these new things about this person. And you get to see the same crew members every day, and I love that.
I love working with the crew. That is one of the most rewarding things about doing television. You know, you really feel like you belong to those people, and
Yeah.
you count on each other. And it's really, even the lighting and the way that a certain cameraman works, it's unique. And when you feel like you can do that thing that they need, and you can work together as a team, it adds a whole other dimension to your acting work.
Totally.
So I love it.
I love it too.
Yes.
Is there a character from a book or a comic that you really want to play?
I mean, I read a lot, so I'm constantly casting myself as characters. Think about it.
I
was one. I think so.
I love my favorite, just juiciest character that I've read in a long time, and I've been saying this for a few years. It's still true. I'm excited to see it. Boris in Goldfinch is, just the best characters I've ever read. They didn't even see me for it. It's about to come out. I can't wait. Or is it out?
It's out.
I never make it to the theaters. So yeah, I really want to see that one over the holidays.
I don't think. I feel like I just read something. It's going to come to me later, like when I'm lying in bed tonight. You know how that happens? Right before you fall asleep. Like, that's what it was.
Just read it out.
Yeah, tweet it out. Something though. I just read. I read a lot. I have like 5 books in my nightstand. Thank you.
Have you ever gotten to play a role that was, that was in something you had read previously, or something that you were like, wow, I really learned this?
Yeah, like established world. Yeah.
Yes.
I have to say that when Firefly first came out, we missed it. The advertising was horrible.
Yes.
Hookers in space, yeah.
Yes. No, we know.
I saw this really cool science fiction film that looked, hey, let's go watch Serenity. This looks interesting. And then we came out of the theater, I realized that was a series. So we went and got the DVD set and binge watched it. But it really impressed me, one, that everybody in the cast, they weren't trying to get used to their roles. Like from episode 1, it's like everybody already knew each other and had been together for years. But it was especially interesting to watch River's character. That she wasn't just this fragile little person who's going to fall apart, that she was actually the angel of death. And slowly show up and show it, and little kids like, oh, okay. There it is, there it is. At the time she picked up the gun, turned around, looked, and then shot 3 people. Oh, she is seriously dangerous. When to us this way.
Do you know when you have a character that develops in such an extreme way like that, are you aware of that's where the character's going when you first start with the character, or is some of that comes as a surprise to you?
We don't know anything.
The
No.
process was
Very secretive. Yeah.
We didn't know what was going to happen week to week. Firefly in particular was kind of like anything could happen. But I do remember mentioning at some point, why doesn't River get a gun? River should fly the ship.
It's okay, he's not here.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, I think I'm lucky that it was right at the beginning of my career, but I just I wasn't as controlling, I think, as I am now. Like, I was more willing to just, okay, like, I'll do an accent this week, and then I'll try this, and then I'll try that, and I kind of rode the waves back then, and it was a really thrilling ride, that show.
I will say that, in terms of people watching the movie first, the movie really does stand on its own. It very well. I mean, a lot of people are upset about the movie for various reasons. It's dark, but it's also really beautiful, and there are some amazing pieces of writing. One of my favorite scenes is when you're at the very end, when it's you and Nathan in the bridge, and he gives you the speech about the secret of flying. It's one of the most beautiful monologues. I love it, and I was in it, you know. Right? It stands on its own as something else. I mean, it's a continuation of the world, but it really is its own special thing, I think.
Thank you. Yes.
I was just wondering if either of you have read the Firefly comics, and if so, what it's like to see yourself like illustrated as a comic book character.
Have you read them?
That's why I've read some of them.
Some of them.
But I saw two today that I had never seen before.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
I guess they're still.
They don't tell us anything. Yeah. I see all kinds of merch that comes through, and I'm like, what's that? It's like a new, something that I've never seen before.
It can be like just mail stuff to me. They don't send you like.
No, we don't. Yeah. Sean and I were at a convention recently. If you remember this from your group chat, and this guy came up. Our signing tables were next to each other, and this guy came up and he had blown up a print from one of the comics where we are in the throes of stuff. and so he had blown it up to like a giant poster. It's literally like a drawing, and we're all like muscly and sweaty, and he wanted us to sign it. And Sean was horrified, but I was laughing. I thought it was just the best. Where did you get this? And he's like, it's from the comic book. I'm like, wow, where are you gonna hang this? In your house? Imagine going to someone's house and you're like, oh wow, that's an interesting piece about the fireplace. It's an interesting choice.
Obviously, like this character that you embodied, you're like, they've been doing what?
Yeah.
When I wasn't looking, my character was doing this.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. We're like, oh wow, I did not realize that happened. It's really
But
something.
the comic book, especially those very first covers, that's my favorite thing to sign.
Yeah.
Is that first cover. It just feels like, wow, that happened. They're really cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This question is for Summer, and it's about Nice Badass. I want to know your feelings and takes from that experience, and I want to know if you ever hung out with any of the extras on the little fighter guys.
Well, we did hang out because we had to go to LARPing class, which was so dangerous. Oh my gosh. It's like, where's the choreography? They're like, free flow. And, I almost got decapitated several times. But it was like summer camp with the coolest actors, Before I decided to do the job, I was on the phone with Joss and I said, yeah, it's Steve Solomon and Jimmy Simpson and Danny Pudi. He was like, do it. And Peter Dinklage, and I had the best time. We were in, have you ever shot anything in Spokane, Washington? It's such a beautiful, fun kind of, it's a small town, but very creative. And I remember it's the only movie I've ever shot completely over night. The whole shoot was night shoots.
Oh my God, really?
So we were totally flipped. It was hard at first, but then we bought bicycles on eBay, and we would just ride through town at night in the dark. It was really cool. It was just like a wonderful summer camp. I really enjoyed it. It was a fun experience.
When you watch the things that we've made, aside from being difficult, is it hard to get lost in the story because you end up remembering stuff like that? Like if you watch that and you're just thinking of riding your bike through the town at night or like other things you were doing at that time?
I think so.
Every role we've had, it's probably been, I'm connecting to everything that was happening in my life at that time.
Yeah.
I'm reliving things.
Sure.
Because
when I watch things with Charlie, with my husband, I'm like, oh, so, I don't know if you can see it, but my cell phone is in my pocket. You can see it in my pocket. It's like, stop. It's very annoying to watch movies.
It's ruining all
Yeah, or like
the-
movies that I'm not even in, you know, it'll be like some like Game of Thrones battle or whatever, and I'm like, this was a nightmare to shoot. I'll tell you that. These actors are not happy. He's like, can you please be quiet? Yeah, I'm like, oh, this poor guy.
Is there anything that he's like, I need to watch this alone?
All the time. Yes, all the time. Well, there was a time where he was like, you're not allowed to speak during Game of Thrones anymore. He was like, no talking, no talking.
Is there anything that you have coming out soon, that you're working on now that you can't talk about, that you're excited about?
I just have a Louis Sapples out, and I have an audio series out called Alternates. That was really fun. It was my first time. I narrate the story, but I play all the characters too. Really fun.
That is fun.
It's a great time. That's it for right now.
Do people expect you to know martial arts because you're playing these characters?
Yeah, definitely.
And you probably could, like, kick someone if you wanted to. You probably could.
Guys, yeah.
I have a thing I just wrapped in New York, but I'm like pretty certain I can't talk about it again. I get in trouble for that a lot. They make me, yeah, I'm a big mouth. And they make you sign all of this stuff now. Yes, it's become very
It's social media too.
serious.
You don't know when you're allowed to post a picture.
They make you sign a social media release and thing saying you will not post. And
sometimes they want you to put their like post from the
I
set,
know.
but don't tell people what it is.
I know, it's ridiculous.
Also post. What do you want?
I'll just I got to play a villain I've played before.
Okay.
That was really fun.
Having been in a show sort of when social media was sort of just starting to influence the fandom of shows and how much it influences and that feedback loop now, is it difficult to adapt, or is it vastly different in the way you make things?
No, it is for me. I never had any social media, and I remember the first show that I ever, when I was on the Cape, they wanted David and I to have a social media, and I was just too shy. And then I remember the next show I went on was Era, which was a lot of slightly younger actors than me, and they were all whizzes on that. I mean, it was a seamless part of the job. They were constantly interacting with each other, and I felt like it felt like a whole new way of acting. And I think now it's kind of it's an important part of it. I mean, I still don't have anything.
It's hard. It's sort of the antithesis of what you do where you're playing other people in other things, and now you have to share you.
I like
There's
that
lots of
part,
different ways to do it. You do it really well because you share your work, but then you also share you, which is so.
I like that part of it because it breaks down some barriers and the misconception that because we're on TV we're like special people or something, and like live like the high life all the time, you know. So I talk a lot about like struggles parenting and like just real life stuff, and I want other people, you know, especially mothers, parents, to feel like they're not alone. Because it's hard and it can be tough, and so I think that's something that I appreciate about it is showing the real side of me more than just like the acting stuff.
It gives you a platform to have a sort of a more reach with.
Sure. Yes. Yeah. But I mean, it's not for everybody. Right? Yeah.
Thank you so much. We're out of time, but please thank Jewel and Summer.
Thanks, guys.